ちは、まみです。今日はリクエストでいただいたロールキャベツを作りたいと思います。ひき肉は豚を今日は使ってますが、鶏でもいいし、今日少し違うベーコンを使っていきたいと思います。Here's the ingredients for today. Cabbage. I got the point head cabbage today, but I do recommend the flat head green or the white cabbage. And the carrot and onion. Minced pork, 500 grams. Salt. Tomato sauce or ketchup. This one is a soup stock. I'm using a chicken stock powder one and nutmeg. Laurier. Butter and the bacon. Okay, we're gonna start with the cabbage. This cabbage is quite big and also pointed, so I'm gonna just flap them and then take maybe 4 or 5 out the leaves and make it a little bit smaller. It's easier to handle that way. And once it's been in the right size, I am going to take the core out. You use a knife and to just slowly do it carefully. Once it's done, you can use a fork to just get it out. Okay, so just like this. Just careful with knife, do it slowly. Okay, cabbage boiling time. Big pot of hot boiling water. And the coreless cabbage, you boil them. And from outside, all leaves are coming out. And once you think it's soft enough to handle it, just take them out. If you have a big enough pot to just put the whole cabbage in it, you can even put the lid on and leave it for maybe 10 minutes and all the leaves will come out very easily. Okay, the onion and the carrot chopping time. You don't really have to make it fuss about cutting too small because we're gonna cook it anyway, so I'm just showing off just a little bit. Okay, the carrot I'm just cut in 3-way this time, and just take one slice off to sit steady on the chopping board this way, so then you can slice up and chop up. This way is quite easier. You can always use a food processor if you like. Did you know the package of the butter has got the measurement of 50 grams or 100 grams? So I'm quite about in that way. So I'm just chopped off for 50 grams line and halfway melted. You put the chopped up onion and the carrot. And then frying this is in a very small fire for a long time. And a pinch of salt will make the vegetables much sweeter this way. Now this thicker part of cabbage leaf, slice off to make it a little bit thinner. It's just easier to roll up this way. So if you cut it off, not like sliced and thin off, don't worry much, because I've got the technique I'm going to show you anyway later on. So just take it off this thicker part, and if the leaves are to bend it, this is the easy way you can do as well. See, very easy. Now I am pairing up larger leaf and smaller leaf to make a set. This part of cabbage one, I'm gonna chop up in smaller pieces and mix into the stuffing. Okay, seasoning the meat, salt, tomato sauce or ketchup, and a nutmeg. I would recommend you to mix it and very paste like. Okay, now mixing vegetables into pate. Okay, very well mixed. Now I am going to divide it by 12 today because I made a 12 set of leaves. So just halve it and divide it by 3. So it's 12. Okay, it's like a footy shape of meatball I'm going to make, and you can sort of toss in one hand to the other to get rid of excess air. Let's load up. So you see that the smaller leaves, you can use that for the base to wrap the meat ball, and then the larger leaves to make a shape. Okay, so this technique is to hold the shape in the pot. So once you put the smaller leaves to cover the meat and load up, and just only one side of the big leaf to fold into it, and then very the end of load up, you fold the other side of leaf. It is recommended to find a pot exactly the size to fit whole cabbage rolls in it. It's easier to keep the shape of the rolled cabbage. Pour the water and fire up. You put the chicken stock powder and the bacon and laurier. Don't worry, it's not mixed. You just put them on the top of it. Okay, lid on. Once it's boiled, put down the heat and just to wiggle the cabbage in between, make sure the water is underneath of the cabbage. Okay, and if you can put this baking paper with bits of hole in it for inside of the lid to stop the bubbling the soups and the juice out. See, they hold it inside of it. I cooked 1.5 hours today on a very small heat to make the cabbage itself nice and tasty. I recommend at least 1 hour. If you can cook it, it would be lovely. You can even leave it overnight and reheat it following day. That would be very tender and tasty. If you cook too much, don't worry, you can freeze this just individually or maybe 2 in a 1 Ziploc and freeze it. Tasting time. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Leave the comment below or you can message me, whichever suits you. And I am always up for challenge or any request. Please let me know. Thank you very much again today.